If you're threatened by AI, you probably need to work more on your skills. Let's talk about it.
Well, then it's really just like a shortcut. It's ruining my creativity.
How?
I don't want to say he's not anti.
No,
AI,
we can say he's anti.
Okay, let's say that he is, and we'll probably have him on the podcast.
Anyone can use ChatGPT for anything. I don't think AI and ChatGPT is here to take over stuff.
Yeah.
If anything's gonna make your life easier.
It's just to make things easier, more efficient.
I wish we had ChatGPT when I was in school.
Don't just copy and paste.
It's not going anywhere.
I feel like it's knowing not necessarily how, but when to use it too.
Yeah. The thing that people need to know about ChatGPT is it's all.
Let's talk about it.
AI. So AI and ChatGPT.
It sounded like Ain't I. Remember that song?
Ain't I. I forgot about that. Ain't I moving on? They're going to give us a strike because they're like, man, that sounds exactly like the song.
It's because I'm so amazing.
But anyways, okay, yeah. ChatGPT, I feel like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like we go right into these conversations with no like context or anything, which I think is fine, right? Because like when you
don't know what AI is.
No, but I'm like last time we did the thing on New Year's resolutions.
Yeah.
And like I went right in like, first of all, remember?
Yes.
So I'm trying to like ease into it and be a little bit like, so ChatGPT.
Listen, you need to be authentically yourself.
That's true. That's true. And I always say it wrong. Like I say it wrong. So
ChatGPT.
I think that's it doesn't flow right. I wonder how many people say ChatGPT. ChatGPT.
Several people.
Cause say it.
ChatGPT.
Because you're thinking about it. I've heard you say ChatGPT. When you just like say it quickly.
Prove it.
It goes by so fast.
Prove
ChatGPT.
Find the video.
Say ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
See, that one's not a P. Come on, do it again.
ChatGPT.
You see, you're thinking about it. I guarantee one of these times you're gonna say it, and I'm gonna take that one little section, I'm gonna loop it and make you listen to it.
Yes, but I always enunciate.
Enunciate?
You didn't even enunciate. You said I enunciate.
Oh man, that sucks.
That's good. That's gold.
All right. I just feel like people are scared of AI, which I get, kinda.
I think it's because of movies like iRobot, which makes sense because I'm like, if it did go that far, yeah, that would be scary. I mean, I guess it has in some places. Like I've seen celebrities who have robots in their house and had like another celebrity over, and they were kind of like, "You
Yeah, but it's not probably gonna attack people. I don't know. Like,
oh no, we'll get back to it. But I saw a video where they were watching iRobot on TV, and somebody had one of the robots, and they were standing behind the robot, and it was a part when Will Smith shoots one of the robots in the head, and as soon as that happened, like let's say you're the robot, TV's behind you, but you're turned around. As soon as
I'm watching the TV.
Yeah.
Why don't I act like the TV's there?
Okay, that's fine. TV's behind me.
Okay.
You're the robot, and then the person who's filming it with their phone is behind you.
Okay.
So, on the TV here, you as the robot see Will Smith shoot another robot in the head. And as soon as that happened, the robot just went like this. Like it looked behind it really fast.
Oh, wow.
It was almost like checking the human, like, you gonna do that to me? But they got it. Someone filmed it, and I was like,
send it to me.
I gotta find it.
Man, that's crazy. That is crazy. Like
Because it was very iRobot. Because that's
some of the stuff at CSE, I always say it wrong. They come up with some dope stuff. There's like this little dog looking thing that like, it's crazy how like real the stuff looks.
Yeah. I could see it going really far. Or you know what? Yeah, you mentioned dogs. I could see it going with people who want a baby. You know, they could make a little baby.
Oh, because they can't have a baby, so they do.
Yeah,
Okay.
but then whenever you decide that you're done with the infant stage, you take it in and.
That's actually kind of a dope idea.
I know. As I'm saying it, I'm like.
It's kind of a dope idea, like.
Yeah.
Because people.
And
like
then the infant stage could last for. However long you want it to.
That's a good idea.
Or a puppy. How many times do people buy puppies? I have. I thought, man, I wish the puppy stage would last longer. I mean, that's life, the circle of life. But
that baby idea is really dope. Anyways, okay, so we're getting. It's just funny because I know there are people that think, oh, AI is gonna ruin human connection and all this stuff, which I get, like, but I feel like people, what's the game that, like, I'm trying not to be rude, but like, when I grew up, everyone was like, the nerdy kids would play like this game that they were like obsessed. They'd be in their basement playing this game and like just.
You're talking about my people, but go ahead.
No reality on life. They were so into this game that like, what's the game? Do you know what it is? Oh.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that game. So is it about Dungeons and Dragons? I've never played that game.
I have actually never played it, but I was around people who did. Like my cousin did.
Okay, were they like really into that world where like it was almost like they were like.
So I know what you're saying. Yeah, my cousin wasn't, but he had friends who were. But I wasn't around his, it was his friend. So I wasn't, I can't really speak to it. I wasn't around them enough. But I know what you're.
Like, bro, they don't understand. Like, they're in that world so much that, like, they don't care about making other friends or, like, their real friends are in that game. You know? Yeah. Like, even so, remember The Sims?
So people did that kind of stuff, too. I never played Sims.
I feel like I played for a little bit, but I was like, I don't know. I thought it was cool because, like, you, like, could do dumb things.
Remember in The Office when Dwight made his own world and he made the exact same, but couldn't he like fly or something?
What was it? Okay, anyways, that kind of stuff, people were obsessed with that. And look, everything's fine. Like, you were into Dungeons and Dragons, I guess. You were into it or no?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
I was like I would go to my cousin's house and he would be playing it or just got done playing with his friends. So I saw it, but I never actually like sat down. No one explained the rules to me.
Yeah. I feel like people can get carried away with anything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But as far as like AI and ChatGPT.
There you go.
I think it can be helpful. I know someone, and you probably know what I'm talking about. They like, I would use it and I was trying to explain to them how we use it. You know what I'm saying? Like it made stuff and they basically went on this whole like campaign of no using AI, no ChatGPT.
Anti-AI.
Yeah, like we're going to be real human connection. I'm not going to do anything that has to do with AI. And then just, our spam, how we get some emails in there sometimes.
Yeah.
I found out like we're still subscribed to one of their emails. And now on like their signature, there's like hey, here's the prompt of the week that you can use for. I'm like,
really?
Wait a second. You said, so it's
didn't
like,
tell me that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was like, huh, interesting.
That's funny.
I know. It's just like, bro, like you can't, people think they can like outrun or like just change technology. Technology is going to be technology. Like you can't stop it, It's
like you have said before, what example did you give? Was it the tractor? The tractor.
So I can't take that. No, I can't take that.
Okay, well, I heard it from you.
You know how I be watching the videos.
Yeah.
So
you don't know where you got it.
I know exactly where I got
it. Okay.
Videos I watch in the morning. I will always watch either something from Gary V. Mm-hmm. I'll watch something from Hermosi. Mm-hmm. I watch Myron Golden sometimes.
Yeah.
And there's this other guy, I can never remember his name, but he does a lot of like, he does podcast stuff. I can't remember his name.
Is he a Middle Eastern guy?
Maybe, I feel like.
Okay. You're more listening whenever you
because I'm like, I'll eat and I'll make our drink and stuff for, but it was Gary Vee. He was the one that said like, everyone was scared of the tractor when it came out. Oh, it's going to take our jobs. But like, look at now what it's like. They still have tractors, but like, they're just, like, have you seen this? They're like super long.
Yeah.
Some are on just machines but the thing is, I feel like farmers now can make more stuff. So they can make more money.
And produce more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I have heard that like farmers aren't making what they should be making or something like that. There's I don't know. But I don't know how much that has to do with technology.
Yeah, I feel like the balance of who gets paid what is all off right now.
But all I'd say is it's every time people try to hide from or try to like not pay attention to technology or AI, they get left behind. Like, man, I wish I would have.
You know what? Somebody gave a good example of AI, of people using AI not even realizing it, because I think that's pretty prevalent too. People who are like, you're just doing every day. Like,
oh yeah, that's when you know it's good. It's like, I know what
like traffic. I don't know for sure, but that's not my example. I was just thinking of like lights. Like it's got to be, I mean, they have their system. Yeah. You probably beg to differ on that because you don't like how some of the lights work.
Some of them don't make any, sorry.
No, it was Should I say the name?
No.
Okay. It was one of our clients, and that client was saying, banks use it.
Oh, yeah.
Banks use it and you don't even realize. For example, when you take a picture of a check to deposit it, that's AI because it's just reading the information, and then you got to confirm. Y'all know how to do that, but yeah.
And
so I'm like, how much of AI are you using without realizing it, and yet you want to get up in arms about it?
Right.
I get it. Like, I understand.
You don't want to lose human connection. I get that. But I feel like AI has made it, and ChatGPT has made it to where our lives are easier if you use it right.
As it should.
And I feel like if you're looking for something bad in anything, you'll find it. If you're looking for good, you're going to find it. Yeah.
It's like that term you always say, and I always forget it, where when you're looking for a certain car, you're going to see that car everywhere.
Yeah.
Same thing.
You looked that up once, what it's called. I can't remember what it's called.
I've looked it up several times.
Yeah. But I honestly think that for us, and for most people, I don't think that ChatGPT is around to ruin human connection or anything like that. It's to make people's lives easier.
Just like social media.
Yeah. Well, social media is weird.
No, I know. Okay.
Yeah,
we won't go off on that tangent, but I think in the beginning it was meant to connect people more, and then people did take that too far.
Yeah, but I think ChatGPT and more AI is there to help you free up time doing stuff that you don't necessarily have to you won't have to do over and over. Like, you can train AI to do it.
Right.
And it gives you more time to do stuff you actually want to do.
Or spend time with people you want to spend time with.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I think that and this is just how I feel. I feel like if you're freaked out about AI and ChatGPT, you need to level up your skills. That's what I feel like. Because
tell the people.
No, but I'm just saying, for us, I just think if you're scared of AI and anything like that, you need to work more on your skills. Because for us, we're not just filmmakers, videographers, what do you want to say, whatever you want to call it, photographers. We don't just help create.
We don't just create content.
Yeah, it's people hire us to solve problems.
Right.
And so however that looks, sometimes we use video and photos to solve problems. You know what I'm saying? When brands, they hire us to do things, we figure out, okay, cool, this is what needs to happen. And if we can create something using AI or ask ChatGPT to help us find something we're missing faster, we can do that quicker and get our clients' info back quicker and say, hey, look, this is what we found. Right. This is what you should do.
Even stats-wise, because we are good at strategy, but it is impossible that we would know the stats of everything across the world and the internet.
Yeah. And that's the cool thing about ChatGPT.
Unless we spent years finding it. And by that point, it's irrelevant.
Right. And I guess maybe we talk about how we use ChatGPT kind of in our lives, I know that like I said earlier, we use it to just help our lives overall, just business and
podcast.
Yeah, the podcast. So even this podcast, we use it to outline. I have it set up. I use a lot of automation. And so I have it set up to where, I have a prompt where I will, and I usually do these outlines, we'll do them at the gym. I'll put, I'll get the prompt, I'll copy it into ChatGPT, and in between sets, we'll talk about what we want to do the podcast on, and I have it set to where it asks us questions. Okay, cool. So this podcast is going to be about this. Who's going to be in it? Is it just you and Heather? And it actually asks me, is it just you and Heather? Or do you have a guess? I say, oh, yeah, it's just me and Heather. Okay, cool, let's move on. Now, if I'd say, hey, no, it's going to be this person, they would then ask, cool, do they have a website? What do they do? That way they can go look at their website. They can go look at their socials. They can find all the stuff about them, maybe some stuff I missed. Yeah. And then when we have them in here, the outline will have questions that say, hey, you may want to ask them about this since the topic is X. they've experienced this, ask them these questions.
That is so smart.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and imagine if we did that.
I was about to say things that we probably would not have even thought about.
Yeah. Like, imagine us trying to search. Like, what would we search? Yeah.
Trying to sit down and be like, so tell us about your day.
Well,
I don't think it would be that bad, but just as an example.
And so, like, it helps there. Like, that saves so much time. That's why we're able to pump out so many podcasts now.
And why we don't have a 3-hour podcast trying to talk about one or two things.
Yeah.
Especially with other people. Because I feel like we could stay on track pretty well. But when you add another person, you want to comfort that person a little bit and add a little padding before you're just like, here's what I think.
But yeah, we do that. Use a lot for the when we put content out, metadata and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you do
because
have to
again, that's like I just said, where it can grab from like what's I mean, there is something to posting what's popular. You know, it doesn't always have to be that. But what are people searching right now?
Yeah.
Like, what is the best information to put out? Because I know some people will watch stuff.
Yeah.
But they won't read it.
Right.
But sometimes they do. So you got to make sure that I say this because I'm like, here's the video and here's all the text underneath of it.
The metadata.
Yeah, the meta. You know what I'm trying to say.
I think we have one client though, like no matter what we do and what we tell ChatGPT, it will not spell their name right. It's so frustrating, and I don't understand why.
I sent you a screenshot of it the other day.
And I was laughing so hard. I'm like, bro, what? Yeah, that time it didn't even try.
That's what I said. I was like, it didn't even try.
Right. But so
and it added letters to that. I'm like, how did you even hear?
Right. And I do have it set. I do have the automation set up to where what happens is we'll shoot a video.
Yeah.
And then it's sent. We use Frame.io for all of our client revisions. And then once someone approves the video, it automatically goes through our system of, like, because we had keep everything in Notion, so it's all organized. And once they hit the approve button, it gets sent to, where's it go next? Approved. Oh, then it gets sent to let us know. We get a Slack message, and then it transcribes it. It does all the ChatGPT goes in it, like it finds the best. If it's for YouTube, it'll find the best titles, and it gives us like a list of 10. And I think for that, I say like, I actually give it a few sites to look over. Like, these are the experts on creating titles. And I give it a few like newspaper places or magazine, you know what I'm saying? Like, because they get paid a lot to come up with headlines.
Well, it will pull up related links too.
Yeah, but for the title, I just send it all that and said, I need a list of 10 titles. And I've started doing, because like the giveaway for ChatGPT is if you see like colons or like, and sometimes colons do make sense, but a lot of times they put blah blah colon something. I say don't say that
for titles. Yeah.
But
or the AI Yuck.
Yeah.
Like my list.
Yeah.
One of the ones will be unlocking, and they always use that in titles.
Yeah.
Unlocking this. Yeah. And I'm like,
but ours don't, because we have, so that's part of the automation.
If I see that, I'm just automatically not clicking on it.
The automation is it goes through, it does all the thing, and we also have one stage where it says, all right, everything you come up with, compare it to this list of AI Yuck words and make sure none of it's in there. And it takes all those words out, replaces them, and like, because that's the thing about using this stuff is you don't want to be you want to still be human.
Right.
And
you don't want to embark on a journey on every piece of content.
Right. Like, bro, no. So we use it for that. I also built that script in DaVinci. I don't know anything about building scripts. It's like coding and crap, but we were having an issue because what we'll do is, sorry, I'm telling the whole story.
No.
We'll shoot a whole bunch of shorts with the client. We'll come in. I think we did one with Lou where we shot like 100 and some shorts. Like she came in here and just pumped them all out. And what we'll do is we'll break them up into like 5. So on the
categories.
Well, no, on the teleprompter, we'll have like 5 set in there. So one take, we'll run through 5 of them.
Oh, like 5 per that topic and
then
5 different.
Then we'll cut. Right. We'll cut and do another 5. And then we'll cut. Just because like, I feel like if she can get through 5, cool, let's give her a break. Mm-hmm. Do 5, take a break. So in DaVinci, when I'm editing, or you're editing, we'll do it to where there's all 5 of them are in one take. You know what I'm saying? So we just set markers.
Yeah.
Where we edit them out to where they're all good. And instead of me having to go, if you know anything about DaVinci, you'll understand this. But if you don't, sorry, just bear with me. So in DaVinci, each time you export something, you have to create a render job. So if there's 5 different video clips in this one timeline, we have to create 5 different jobs. And what that means is going to the first video, going to the beginning of it and to the end of it, saying, add this to as a job. And you have to put a name in there. All of our automations are based off of specific names and IDs. Just that way they keep them logged together, don't interfere with other client stuff. And so we can't just say export all as individual clips. If that was the case, we could do compound clips, whatever, done. But with this, you have to do, so one marker, the title, the next marker, we put another title. And so we have 5 markers by the end of it. Instead of us having to create 5 jobs, I wanted to create a script or something where I could just say, export this timeline and name each video based on the marker title and create the in and out points. So, because you understand, like doing that 100 times, that takes up a lot of time.
Right.
And so it did take me like, I don't know, it took me a few hours because I don't know anything about coding really. Well, I know something, but some things. But ChatGPT walked me through how to do it. And we had little issues and I could just talk to it like I'm like, hey, listen, this is happening. How to fix it? Oh, you need to do this.
Yeah.
And I would tell it where I saved this stuff. So it's like, okay, it's in this location. You need to make sure, whatever. And so, but now when we have a problem, when we export a timeline, I have a little, it's the ugliest UI, but it pops up and it's called like export segments or whatever. And it'll have all the segments listed and how long they are. So the duration, like 20 seconds, whatever. And then I hit the export segments and it just goes through and you can see it automate and do that really quick. And it does it in like maybe 5 seconds.
That's so nerdy too, to sit there and just watch it. Like,
yeah, it just doesn't 5 seconds and then, so it's like, man, it's already set up. I just have to render it out. So like that's something to where it's saving me time. It's not taking away from anything I'm doing. Our clients, that they will never know if I'm doing that or if AI is doing it. You know what I'm saying? Huh? Well, the thing,
I know.
We have clients that understand like our goal is to do everything we can as quick as possible, as best as possible. Like I love efficiency. I hate when things are inefficient. It just, it annoys me, you know?
Well, I do it for emails.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand why people still write really long emails.
Yeah, but they do.
Right. But they come in and a long email for me would be like 1 or 2 paragraphs. But
Bro,
usually it's like 1.
You know I'm skimming that thing.
Because I'm nice, but I'm also to the point.
Yeah.
But if an email comes in and it's like, if I'm scrolling or just like my eyes are going down, I'm going to put that in the chat and be like, can you summarize this? What are the main points? So I know like what I need to respond to. That way, I mean, maybe I don't know if that's me being lazy or if it's just really
being
smart.
efficient. No, that's being efficient. We have we have humans. So like the faster we can get our stuff done, the faster we can hang out with them.
Right.
That's what we care about, you know? And I don't think that's being lazy. That's being very smart.
Yeah.
These are just examples of how we're using AI and ChatGPT in a way that's not like, I don't know.
Well, even like for the girls, like with like homeschooling, like I can actually build out lessons, which by the way, I haven't actually done it, but I'm in homeschool groups on Facebook, and I saw where somebody built out a homeschool lesson. She gave like prompts. I don't know. I call them prompts, but she had them, whatever. To build out a homeschool lesson for a trip to Disney World.
Oh, hell, of course.
Every single park, and like how you can go through the lesson and make sure you know.
I'm surprised we haven't done that already.
I just learned it like days ago.
No, but I feel like that's something you'd think of because we could do that easy.
I know. I'm like, why didn't I think of that?
We should do that.
No,
that's dope, though.
But anyways, there are even some things besides like building out homeschool lessons. There are some things that I don't really even know how to explain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where you just know something, but you're like,
I don't know how to. Yeah, we were looking at. I was looking at Instagram because when I went over this outline, I was like, what if we first? You okay with it?
I'm good. One more. It's like tickly.
Drink something. You know what happens whenever I sneeze or whatever? People stop listening right then. We were looking up on Instagram, though. The first time we really used ChatGPT to help them, it was like explaining how to get what credit means. Because they had both drawn something. I was like, who came with this idea? And I was like, they were like, well, they told me who it was. I was like, I need to know who to give credit to. And they're like, what does credit mean? I was like, how do you explain that?
Right.
I remember
and
looking it up and like it
not
wrote,
in the monetary sense.
Yeah.
How do you explain?
Yeah. And ChatGPT like went through and like told me, oh, here's how you explain it. And I was like, they did ask, how old is how old's your kid? And I was like, oh, it's just so dope how that all works.
The conversation of just answering back to you.
I love that.
So then how would you explain, what would you say to somebody if they're like, what they want to use ChatGPT, but they're afraid that it's going to ruin their creativity?
I think we're talking about this too. ChatGPT don't have creativity. The thing that people need to know about ChatGPT is it's only going to put out what you feed to it. Like if you don't feed it the right stuff, it's not going to do anything. Like, yes, it can do some dope things and it's getting better and better and better. Like these videos that people are coming out with using AI and stuff, bro, it's dope.
But it's all based off of what people have been feeding it.
Yeah. So you have to train
decades.
it. Yeah, you have to train it to say, hey, I need this. Like the script I was talking about building.
Yeah.
It wouldn't, if I just said, hey, I need to build a script, it would say, okay, why? What is it for? It doesn't know. You have to actually know how to, what is it called? Prompt engineering or something like that. But you have to know how, so it's not about ChatGPT taking away creativity. Because I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
If anything, it's going to make it faster. It's going to make it so you can do your creative thing faster. You know what I'm saying? It was like, I want to do this. Like, let's say I wanted to be like, hey, listen, I want to light this situation. The room is this long. It's going to be this time of day. What lights do you recommend me bring and what gear? How many C-stands do I need? And it's going to be able to say, these are the things you need. And it's going to say, are you lighting, how many people are you lighting? Are you lighting spaces or faces? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it could do all that. And I wouldn't have to worry about creating a list. Obviously, it's going to pump out a list. I'm going to look over like, okay, cool, this makes sense. There's something on there like, why is this for? Oh, you might need it for this.
Why is this for?
Yeah. Why is this on the list for?
Why is this for? No, I know what you're saying.
I don't think that.
So then you don't feel like, because somebody could be like, well, then it's really just like a shortcut. It's ruining my creativity.
How? You heard what I just now did.
Yeah.
Imagine me spending time sitting down like, okay, cool, I'm going to need this, this, and this, and writing it all down. And then we're human. So I could mess up like, oh, man, I forgot that I needed this because of this. And ChatGPT, like, all ChatGPT knows is like stats and data. You know what I'm saying? So like, it knows that if you need to do this, you're going to need this, this, and this. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't think it's a bad thing. Shortcuts are fine, I feel like.
I feel like it's knowing not necessarily how, but when to use it too.
Yeah.
Because we have our friend Jamie Miller, he's I don't want to say he's not anti.
No, he is. No, we can say he's anti.
Okay, let's say that he is, and we'll probably have him on the podcast sometime soon. But I understand what he's saying, though, because so he teaches on communication. His whole thing is the art of conscious communication. So there is, obviously, I just said the email thing. So I do use AI for communicating with people. But his whole thing is, what if people use it so much that when they get in a setting with people, they just don't know how to communicate face to face. We will never face that, but I do feel like a generation under us who are coming up in this world of, just AI everything. And then they have severe social anxiety because they just don't know how. They have no practice.
Yeah.
I can't remember what my point was about that. But
that he doesn't like AI?
Oh, yeah. But it made me think of that because I'm like, okay, there is something to it in that realm, but not necessarily, I was just saying knowing when, how and when, that's what it was, when to use it.
But people are doing that now anyways with Photoshop.
What?
They'll Photoshop someone to look completely different than what they are.
Oh, that's exactly the same exact thing. That's great.
That's exactly the same thing. It's like people that have... Luckily, I don't have to be on dating apps, but I hear all these stories about how like people will meet someone and like they look nothing like their picture. I'm like, bro, I'd be so pissed. I'd be so mad.
I'm like, aren't we? Obviously, I'm not either, but I'm like, as a society who does a lot of online dating, aren't we past that? Can we be past that?
Yeah, like why are you faking like you?
What do you expect to get from that? How are you winning?
Just when it comes, I feel like people should learn to like not fear ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Use it to your advantage, like whatever you're doing. Like, because anyone can use ChatGPT for anything.
Yeah.
Like, I wish we had ChatGPT when I was in school. You know?
Oh.
And listen to this. Remember when we were in school and like they had those little calculators and then they had the little watch and
they expensive. They were like, what they like 50?
I don't even care about that. You're talking about the scientific one?
No, I thought it was like Texas something. Yeah. I remember when we bought
that
it.
brand.
Like you had your list
that was the only brand
of supplies. Yeah.
But remember teachers would be like, you're not going to have a calculator everywhere you go. And now look, we have it on our phones and we don't even have to
I'm always like, hey, what's this time?
Yeah.
And I'm quick at math, but I'm usually like, yeah.
Our girls now, they will use their iPads. I was going to say SIRI, but then we have one in here and I don't want it to like go off.
This is the second podcast that's happened. So we have, what is that called? An Apple, what's the speaker? HomePod?
Yeah.
We have a HomePod nearby. And so anytime we say the name SIRI without spelling it, it's like, what? What do you need?
Yeah.
You need lights on, lights off?
Right. Anyways, they'll use their iPads to text me because I don't know how to spell some things. So let's say it. Like,
sometimes
text
like,
Daddy and say,
you're looking at your phone like, what?
I'm like, how do they know how to? Heather must have helped. And I was like, she didn't. They used. I think that's a trip, man.
There was one recently that one of them sent, and she had me spell it out. But it was worth me spelling it out because I wanted to see what your reaction was going to be. And then it was the next day when you were like,
did you help her?
I was really impressed. Did you help her? And I'm like, yeah, I typed it out.
I don't think AI and ChatGPT is here to take over stuff.
Yeah.
If anything's going to make your life easier.
It's just to make things easier, more efficient.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Even, I don't even think I told this story, but my hoodie from the gym. Mm-hmm. So when I first started going to the gym, I got this hoodie. And it was actually one I didn't buy it for the gym. I bought it before they were born.
When the girls were born.
Yeah. Well, I bought it. We did our photo shoot in it. Anyways, I did my photo shoot in it and our photo shoot in it. And I got just a gray black hoodie because I wanted to match. I didn't know what you were going to get.
Yeah, it was kind of like, it was like a baseball tee, but hoodie style.
I was like, get something to match whatever we're going to do. And so we did the shoot, whatever. Then I finally decided I was going to go to the gym. And I wore that hoodie. I was like, man, I look like such a lard in this hoodie. And so my thing was I wanted to get to where I looked.
A lard.
Yeah, I was like, I want to be able to wear this hoodie and it looked like I actually work out in this hoodie. And so if you know me, I believe that if you don't track something, you can't manage it or make it better.
You like stats. Yeah. That's what it is.
So I would weigh myself in the same gym clothes, that same hoodie every day. And then once I started seeing like, oh, and then I think I was out somewhere and I had wore that hoodie and not any gym clothes. And someone was like, you working out?
Oh,
like,
good.
All right. Thank you. I was like, I am. So then I was like, okay, cool. I like this. But then I like the hoodie. So I'm like, I need to get another one. We go back to, I think we got it at Old Navy. Mm-hmm. And they don't have any of them. And I asked them, like, do you guys have any more?
It's been years since,
And so I remember one day I was like, wait, why don't I just ask ChatGPT? So I put it in ChatGPT. I was like,
a picture?
I didn't even take a picture of it. If I would have taken a picture of it, it probably would have made it easier. No. I said, I bought a hoodie, and I can't remember what year I said, and it has black sleeves, and the middle's gray. I work out in it at the gym, and I got it at Old Navy, but they don't have it anymore, so I need to find another hoodie just like it. And I said it with pockets, because I hate hoodies that don't have pockets. And so it popped back like 4 or 5 different results. One of them was actually a dope hoodie. It wasn't the exact one. But then there was another one. It was similar. And it said, this is similar. But I can't remember what it said. It's like, this one's similar, but like instead of it going across, there was like a V or something like that.
Yeah.
It said, if you check it out, there might be one similar.
It told you the difference.
And so I went in it, clicked on it, and then I found the hoodie. And so now I have a ton of the other hoodies that are just the same. It was like, man, like, just little stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're like, if you had to Google, you have to know exactly what terms to search when you use Google.
And how nice of it.
Yeah.
To get tell you the difference and not just send back a link.
Right.
Here.
Right.
Because you would have been okay with that.
Because that's what Google does. When you Google something, it's just like, okay, here, I guess this is what you want.
Maybe the iPhones, but doesn't one of the Samsung or something has a thing now where you could just take a picture of something that you like?
Yeah, Amazon has it where you can take a picture.
Oh, that's right. I forget. I forget that.
Desiree just texted me.
That also reminds me, a couple weeks ago, whenever they had some award show. But anyways, I was seeing one of the celebrity pictures that was posted, and I was like, I love her lipstick. And I remember we were sitting right outside the gym because we're getting to go in and just kind of like talking and just messing around on our phones. And you're like, well, screenshot it. And I was like, why? I'm not going to be able to figure out what that is based off of this picture. And you're like, send it to me. So I sent it to you. And then I don't know what you did with it from there. I know you used chat.
Yeah, I did it in the truck while we were... you guys were doing something, so I just said, what color lipstick is this? My wife wants it.
But it reminded me, it was the same thing, but for me, where it sent back this link. It was like an Ulta link or something, like, here's the brand.
Yeah.
And it's like, of course, this depends on your skin color and all these things. Yeah, so not only did it send a link to me,
right,
but it was like, also consider your complexion.
Yeah, I love that so much.
That was fun.
See.
What? She texted you? Is this something important?
It was no, it was just a picture. That's all.
I love you, and it's like a little cat or something.
I when it comes down to ChatGPT, I don't care where you stand. I think that if you're avoiding it, you're just making stuff harder on yourself.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, so let's say we have convinced somebody it's okay. Get started with chat. Then what would you recommend them doing as far as like taking the first or like getting started using chat?
Figure out the one thing that you are struggling with right now. And don't start with some like
the one
big,
thing.
huge, like
people struggle
philosophical
with
thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say you have a leak somewhere or you need something fixed or meal planning. Like we use it for meal planning. Just ask it something you're struggling with. Instead of using Google, try ChatGPT once and just see what it's like and say, hey, I'm trying to lose X amount of weight. How often should I go to the gym? What meals do you recommend?
Right. And then it's probably going to have a conversation with you and be like, okay, well, what's your body type?
Yeah.
What's your height?
It's going to ask you all. And that's what I'm saying is like, it's not going to, I don't understand how people think it's going to take over the world. Like, I don't know if I answered that question right, but that's where I would start. Is like, start by just using it as Google is what I would do.
Yeah.
And, we talk about our life pillars. We use it a lot. Like, hey, here's our life pillars. Anytime we need something help with them, those things, I can put it in there and be like, oh, here's what you need to do.
Yeah. And you could set up custom settings in it eventually. Like, I don't think, I don't want to just assume and say someone starting like probably wouldn't. But like you said, I would get started with the basics and then you can go in and set up custom settings.
Yeah, I have that in ours. I have our brand and personal keywords are in there so it knows like what we're about.
Yeah. And my favorite, you have our Enneagram types.
Yeah, I do. I don't even know what mine is. She told me what it is. I still don't know what that means. But I put that in there and it responds.
Personality types.
But it responds to me how I need to. And it does, if I ask it to come up with a message, like, hey, can you come up with a message for me? It does get close to saying it how I'd say it.
Yeah.
Like very to the point and none of the...
Do you smirk at that? Like,
I love that. I'm like, let's go.
You don't know me, but you do.
Yeah, I like that. But yeah, I think that's what I would do if I was first starting.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good. And then I would say, so getting started, getting the info.
Yeah.
But then, so if somebody is using that info then to put somewhere else, like in an email, in Meta, or let's just even say like a description for a video or something. When
you say Meta, you have to be careful because Meta is Facebook.
Oh.
Metadata.
Metadata.
People that aren't in our world don't know that we're thinking metadata.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Okay. What I was getting to is don't just copy and paste.
Oh, yeah. Hell no.
Please don't.
Yeah.
Because the whole point, and it does take time. It takes time. You can do your custom settings, but it's going to take time and some conversations for it to learn you. And so in the beginning, you don't want to just go ahead and paste something because people know.
Yeah. People are not
We
dumb.
are not that stupid.
Yeah. Like this is ChatGPT.
Even somebody who doesn't use chat, I feel like can look at it and just know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have someone that says they know whenever people use ChatGPT and they've never said anything about us. Because they
Tell me later.
They think that they don't think we use ChatGPT like that. Like, no, bro, you don't understand. We use.
I know exactly who you're talking about. You have no idea.
I don't know if you did. There you go with the coughing. Here you go with the coughing.
I'm sorry. I feel like I'm so close to the end of the coughing that it's just in there like, no!
Yeah, I think I answered your thing right there, right?
No, you did.
Okay.
No, well, yes. And I was saying don't copy and paste.
Yeah.
Like, don't lose yourself in chat.
Yeah.
Still be yourself. Use it, you know, to your advantage. And there you go.
I think going back to how people that want to get started, I would start by getting the app. You can get the app.
Yeah, that's actually the first step.
Yeah, get the app and just start Googling, like using the app instead of Google. Start doing that because that's what people are doing. Like me,
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I Googled something.
I still do just because it's such a habit.
Yeah,
But I need to
guarantee
just
you,
leave
like,
my window open for chat. And
when you Google, how many tries does it take you to get to the right link?
what do you mean?
Like if you're Googling something, like if you're like, what do you Google? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, sometimes it serves up a whole bunch of links. You're like, okay, which one am I supposed to?
Oh, so the other day I Googled New Year or New Year's. But now AI comes up on the top of the list and it's got like a paragraph of its, you know, of its little explanations. So,
but when you go to that, I bet you there's a whole bunch of different people saying, and so like, which one do you click on versus you ask AI, is it New Year or New Year's resolution? And it'll say, oh, this.
Yeah. But with me, I'm a very trusting person. So I'm a pretty, like, I will take something at face value. So if I see it, I'll look at the top 3. And if it doesn't say sponsored, I'm like, that's probably what it is.
That's funny.
I don't know if I just recently haven't done any like deeps, like I have to know this or like it can't be wrong. I haven't had any recent searches like that. So that's why, like, I know better. If I really need to know something, I'm not going to.
When you were looking up that, what is it, BOI stuff that we have to do? Remember the new, like, whatever? You had to look up some of that stuff, I think.
I did.
Right?
So I did that like 4 months ago. So I honestly don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember too much information on that. I know I did it correctly though.
Whatever you're struggling with, I have my notes in here. Whatever you're struggling with or want to improve, explain it to ChatGPT and watch the conversation you get into just by starting there.
Yeah.
Like, it's just amazing. It still trips me out that people don't use it.
Right.
And it's funny, the people that don't, even Jamie, when I told him how we find, when we get testimonials, how we put that together, because he thinks that we're going in there listening to the whole thing and then find it. No, bro, I transcribe it and say, find the best parts of this video for me. You know what I'm saying? And like, but you know, we have more prompts in there to where it knows what we're looking for and knows like, hey, we need a good hook and all. It knows all that stuff. So it finds, and it gives me options. You know what I'm saying? So like,
or at least starting points.
And it gives me the time code. So I can go in the timeline. I know exactly where the stuff is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've done that where I've gone to that point and I'm like, it's not exactly what I want. If I just listen like maybe 10 seconds more, I'm like, oh, there it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's better than having to listen to the whole thing and then like write it down or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, again, if you're not using it, you're missing out.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I think there's nothing wrong with using it.
Yeah.
No.
And I'm trying to figure out how we even got on this conversation as far as like having it be an episode. But I think it's just like in our business and what we do, we use it a lot. You know what I'm saying? And
you can keep using it. You can go back to the same conversation. Let's say something like changes later, or like you can go back and be like, okay, I understand like this is still true, but now I'm wanting to add X, or I need to do this, and it will keep. Yeah, it's not like once you go in, like if you do a Google search, unless you have like 400 tabs open.
Well, so with ChatGPT and people that are like worried about that kind of stuff, I do think there's a way to make it to where it doesn't remember what you ask and your conversation is really like, I leave mine. My thing is like, if somebody wants to know about something about me, they're gonna find out about me. Like I don't have nothing to hide really, so it's like,
especially in this day.
Yeah.
Like I'm not one to be like flash my debit card and like I'm not foolish, but I'm like if somebody really wants to know.
I don't care about that. But like I like it because it basically trains it to respond and do the things that we want it to do in a way that we want it to do.
Right.
And all our clients know, like we don't try to hide and like say, the ChatGPT doesn't do any of the real stuff. It does the
Right.
hard work. That doesn't sound right either. If you know what I'm saying, it does the stuff that we could do, but it would take way longer.
Yeah.
And if it took way longer, we'd have to charge more.
Yeah.
The reason we're able to charge what we charge and not crazy more than what we do is because we're actually using a lot of resources and tools like ChatGPT to save us time and get us there quicker.
Yeah.
know?
And I think
So-
in the end, it makes us more money
Yeah.
in that.
Yeah.
If we were spending all of our time with one client or two clients,
Yeah.
like we would not have the time to take
Yeah.
on more clients.
Yeah. So
So that's very helpful. I don't think AI is going to take over.
it's not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere. It's not.
So
It's not
if,
taking over.
if
so.
you've been over on the fence about using it, jump on it, use it, get ChatGPT. They should definitely change the name to ChatGPT, not PT. That's what I think.
What does GPT stand for?
I have no idea. Like
So you can't tell them to change their name.
programming something. It has to be something programming. How about this? Watch this. I'll ask while we're on here. Let me pull up ChatGPT right now. I'm gonna say, what does the GPT stand for in ChatGPT? I know I could have probably Googled, and I actually could have used audio and just said it.
I was like, I
Yeah.
don't know why you didn't say it.
I'm gonna read exactly how it says. The GPT in ChatGPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. Here's a breakdown. Generative. The model generates responses or text based on the input it receives. Pre-trained. It is pre-trained on a massive data set to understand and generate human-like text. Transformer. Refers to the type of natural network architect it uses.
It's a transformer.
Specifically the transformer model, which excels at understanding context and relationship in text. This architecture enables ChatGPT to produce coherent and contextually relevant responses. So I didn't even know that. I didn't know that's what it stood for. But
So
there
do you
go.
still think they should change it?
Huh? Yeah, I
Pre-trained?
still think it should be something else. I don't care what it stands. It should be ChatGPT.
Something to replace the word pre.
Yeah, what could pre-trained, before trained, BT.
Be trained?
Before Christ, remember BC?
No, they're not changing it.
Pre-Christ?
Chat GPT.
I know they're not going to change it, but
It's here to say.
I'm never going to change how I say it. ChatGPT.
That's fine. Be authentically you.
Man, all right, we're done.
All right.